Hi friends, welcome back to another video/episode of the James Red Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about building habits towards meaning as a creator. And to do this, I want to look at the life habits of none other than Ben Franklin. That's right, the father of flute jazz. Wait, no, that's not right. I think he built a kite or something. Anyway, if you look at his daily routine, you will see that he was very habitual towards meaning in his life. So if we look at his routine from start to finish in over 30,000 foot detail, we will see that he would wake up and ask, what good shall I do today? So he started with this mental intentionality towards meaning. He would rise, wash, and address powerful goodness. Not sure exactly what that means, but I think we can draw some conclusions. He would work throughout the day. At noon, he would read or look over his accounts, which to me means your boy had money. I think that's the takeaway there. In the evening, he would put things in their places. He would engage in an examination of the day, and then he would ask, what good have I done today? So from start to finish, his day seemed to be obsessed with meaning and value and eliminating waste. Now, he also had a list of 13 virtues for his life. Do you have a list of 13 virtues for your life? I think I need to get to work on mine. And these virtues are so full of wisdom. And I just want to touch on the content of a few of them. One of them reads, speak not what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. Now, the last half of this is incredibly interesting to me. This speaks to this idea of avoiding conversation that is either meaningless or avoid doing stupid things in meaningful conversations. Do not waste time in your conversations. Let all of your things have their places. Let each part of your business have its time. Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve. And this is a fundamental premise, I think, of becoming a man for me. Is that I need to be able to not let the emotions of my daily go-abouts and the frustrations of life and the negativity start to weigh down on me and keep me from resolving to perform what I ought to perform and doing it well. So there's two pieces to this idea. Resolve to perform what you ought. Build some grit and decide to do what you know you need to do. Perform without fail what you resolve. Pour everything you have into making sure you do this thing correctly. Now, I'm not talking specifically about your craft today. Whatever you're up to. This is not a photography podcast directly. But all of these things lead into the end goal. Lose no time, be always employed in something useful. Cut off all necessary actions. Be not disturbed at trifles or at accidents common or unavoidable. I love this one. We have to continue to reteach ourselves this as we go through our lives. It's like we go back and forth on this pendulum type thing of letting the daily frustrations, your tire explodes on the highway, your car flips over, bursts into flames, you have to climb out, and somehow you have to carry on your day in positivity. But we smaller versions of that too. We get to a place where we let those things constantly get in our way, and then we realize, oh wait, this is life. Hopefully we realize this. I realize this and then forget. Oh wait, this is life. This is supposed to happen. Life is full of these things. Life is full of everything from minor inconvenience to tragedies. They happen. He says, be not disturbed. I love the way he puts that. And the last one I absolutely love. Imitate Jesus and Socrates. So we see that he had an obsession with eliminating waste in his life. And we also see that he was engaged in this far-reaching form of intentionality to every area of what he was up to. He speaks to this idea of keeping your house organized, not letting your clothes get dirty, making sure you take care of yourself, all of these things in perfect harmony to help you generate a meaningful life. I find that fascinating. He would continually check in with himself. What good shall I do today? What good have I done today? This is such a simple thing that we can be asking ourselves on a daily basis that most of us do not. I try to engage in mindfulness, especially in the mornings when I start my day, but that's something that I don't ask myself. It's something that I'm engaging with all day long, but it's probably a good idea to pull out, a sticky note or an app or something. Write down, what am I trying to do today? What do I have the opportunities to do today? And the good thing about being a creator is that you have you have a skill set. You have a vessel where which you can achieve good things. Even if 5 people see your photo, watch your video, think of 5 people in a room being moved by something that you do. It's a big deal. It's easy to dig a rut in life and not do that, not check in with yourself. You just kind of get in this groove. You keep moving. I think of let's see, maybe like maybe some sort of dirt bike track. I don't know if this is a perfect analogy. We'll see how this goes. But you dig a rut in the middle, you just kind of follow that rut and you stay in there, and it's easy to stay in there. You come out of that rut, things get rocky and ridiculous and hard. That was a good analogy. That worked out. Okay, I'm proud of myself. You come out, there's trees, there's rocks, there's roots. The reason the rut is there is because that's the path of least resistance for you. But is there reason to come out of that rut? I would argue that that's where meaning is often found in your life. Another thing to focus on is the fact that a majority of meaningful actions are small ones. And he says, earlier on, he says, speak not what may benefit others or yourself. Avoid trifling conversation. That all of the tiny, minute things that you do on a daily basis matter towards meaning. It is rarely this enormous, you fly in and give somebody, you put your arm on their shoulder and you say, hey, Jack, hey, you need to go to law school. And then Jack goes, you know what? You're right. That's something that people never say in life, by the way. You'll watch these shows from the 90s where it's the moment in the show where everybody they have an epiphany. They have a come to Jesus moment. And they say, you know what, I have been dumb. I have not being nice to you because I have this thing going on in my life. And they say the words, you know what, maybe you're right. No one says that. Normally you say that, they verbally punch you in the face, and then they come back 6 months later, if you're lucky, and say, you know what, that I did something with that, thanks. Anyway, I digress. Also, tolerate no uncleanliness in the bodies, all of your bodies, all 7 of them. Tolerate no uncleanliness in body, clothes, or habitation, which is what I was touching on a second ago, which is this idea of the fact that all of the little baby steps in your life on a daily basis are what are going to lead to meaning. All of the things that seem mundane, that feel meaningless, are built in to meaning. It's important to start to think more that way. And I struggle with this because I'm so obsessed with meaning that mundane tasks are rather taxing for me, and I think this is part of my personality type. Like oil changes, buying eggs, going to the bank, kill me with a spoon, washing dishes. But I've realized in this how to make these acts meaningful. Now, I haven't figured out for all of them, but washing dishes I have a pretty solid handle on. I realized that I have a laptop, I have wireless earbuds. Be careful because you can easily pop your earbud off. It flies down into the garbage disposal. Bad day. Mine got soaked, by the way. Like, it was covered in water. I was like, this is done. We just bought these. I lost an earbud. I'm going to have one wired earbud, one wireless earbud. But it was fine anyway. So I have wireless earbuds. I have a laptop. I have YouTube. Go find meaningful things to learn. Go learn. Spend this time learning. Find something that makes you forget what your hands are doing. And every now and then I achieve this. Now, sometimes Sometimes it's directly learning. Sometimes I'm like watching combat footage or Star Wars videos, all sorts of things. You know, escapism is good too. But I'm just giving you an example of the intentionality that you can put into the mundane tasks of your day to achieve meaning. Meaningful action is built on the back of habits. And so we've all heard this quote once or twice. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Now, a lot of people think this is Aristotle, but this is actually Will Durant, who was referring to a much lengthier quote from Aristotle. And the actual quote was, as it is not one swallow or a fine day that makes a spring, so it is not one day or a short time that makes a man blessed and happy. It's a little less marketable. So I thought that was interesting. Not Aristotle. Wonderful quote, by the way. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The pursuit of meaning is a daily investment into intentionality. And also, it's sometimes a good idea to redefine your metrics for success in life to include meaning. A lot of times our metrics include the things that are meaningful to us, but are not necessarily meaningful to our lives. And there's a distinction there. But in conclusion, you rarely stumble into meaning. It rarely finds you. It sort of does, but it finds you while you're pursuing it. So you must be intentional in every area of your life towards pursuing meaning. That's it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.